Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the fitness plan that I did going into Ranger School. I talked in a previous video about it. I think it was the Ruck video, maybe, but doesn't matter. This is the program that I did before I went to Ranger School. Now, I want to reiterate that just because I did it doesn't mean it's the only plan that should be done. There's a ton of different ways to approach Ranger School and your physical training. There's no like one size fits all. I just didn't really have a good starting point. And I saw this was out there, kind of breezed through it before I bought it. And I was like, yeah, that's effective. So I went with it. It's the Mountain Tactical Ranger School Prep Plan. Now, the packet in total is $240, which I know seems like a ton of money, but realistically for what you get, it's actually not that much money. So you get 6 programs with a total of 42 weeks of Ranger School prep included in that $240, and you also get a 7th program that is the Ranger School recovery program. It's another so it's once you graduate Ranger School, you go back home. It's designed to help build you back up because you're pretty destroyed after Ranger School. So the packet is $240 for 50 weeks for an entire year's worth of training. Honestly, you can't beat it. And I will tell you, this is it. This is the only thing I did was the Mountain Tactical workouts. I didn't do anything extra above and beyond. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did do some extra push-up and sit-up work. But as far as running, rucking, gym work, this is it. I only did the Mountain Tactical workouts. So I thought it was extremely effective. I was in phenomenal shape when I went to Ranger School. So physically, I didn't really have a challenge. And I went when I think I was 30 when I went. So, I was on the older side of people that go. I will tell you, the Mountain Tactical workouts are boring. They're extremely boring. Every workout's a little different. Every workout plan. So it's it's their Virtue series, but we'll get into that. But they're super effective. So like I said, they're a little boring. They get kind of repetitive, you're doing the same thing every week. So that's one downside, but they work. So as long as you push yourself, you're gonna see the benefit in the end. They're all functional based fitness. So it's not you're not going in the gym and doing a bunch of Olympic lifting, or you're not going to the gym and you're not curling for the girls. It's not that style of workout. It's functional based workouts, which is super effective, honestly, for Ranger School. So you're doing some body weight work. You do use weights, so you lift weights through it. It's not like you're just doing body weight stuff. You're in a gym, you are lifting weight. You're just lifting them kind of in a different manner. But that's a little more realistic for how you'll actually use your body in Ranger School. You'll do a bunch of sprinting, a bunch of endurance running work, and then there's rucks, slow rucks, and then fast rucks, ruck runs. So it was good. I can't reiterate it enough. I'll quickly breeze through the programs. So the first one is their on-ramp. It's designed to if you're not familiar with functional fitness workouts, it's designed to kind of break you into that. So they start to kind of slowly bring some of these different movements into your perspective, give you some exposure to them, let you try them out at a lower weight, lower volume, lower tempo. and just kind of try to build you up so that you're not, if any of you can remember, like the first time you went to the gym, like heavily, and you were super sore and every day is like a struggle, you have to tell yourself, you can do it, go to the gym. That's kind of what the on-ramp is designed to do, is to like slowly build you up so you don't have that like massive soreness. You're going to be sore the whole time, but if you do the on-ramp, it should help you like break into it. And they've got some stretching and stuff like that in built in. All right, so the second workout you're going to do is called Humility. It's part of their Virtue series. So I've actually done quite a few mountain tactical workouts. I really like what those guys are doing over there, and they take fitness to a new level. If you give it your all in their workouts, you're gonna be a more fit person at the end of one of their workouts. Like I said, they're all a little boring, but if you go hard in the paint, you're gonna get something out of it. So in the Virtue series, that's basically what makes up the Ranger School packet, and then the final is the Ranger School plan. So start off with your on-ramp, then you go to Humility. It's 5 days a week. It has kind of like a hardening effect. That's the design of it, is to like, I guess, make you harder. And it's rough, like mentally. I think Humility was probably the hardest workout mentally. Like Humility is tough. I actually went through the Virtue series twice because I did it once prior to knowing I was going to Ranger School, and then I redid it leading into Ranger School. So Humility was pretty tough. Then you move into Fortitude. It's another 5 days a week workout. This is kind of where you're going to start to build your body up a little bit. You're working on your heavy strength. You're essentially building that chassis. So you're trying to like just build overall functionality in your body. After Fortitude, you go to Valor. That's another 5 days per week. And this is kind of where you start your groundwork. So you're still in the gym, you're still building the chassis, you're still trying to get like a little stronger and just like build that muscular endurance. But this is also like where they start to really prioritize running and rucking. There is rucking and running in all the on-ramp, Humility, and Fortitude, but Valor is where you start to see it like kind of becoming a focus, is the like the groundwork, the rucking and stuff. Then you move into Gratitude. That's the fifth workout. Gratitude is 6 days per week. So now you're starting to see how you're building that like durability, which is truthfully what you need at Ranger School, is durability. You don't need to be the strongest, fastest guy. You need to be durable. So Gratitude is really like massive amounts of endurance work. You're going to really start to put the running to the test, and the rucking, and I wish I had it pulled up, but like I remember doing some like 15, 18 mile runs. Like you're putting miles on, which is good because you've built up to this point. So you're able to accomplish it. It's rough. No way to sugarcoat it, but Ranger School is not easy, so you shouldn't train easy either. And the final plan is the Ranger plan. It's what they call their Ranger plan. So it starts 8 weeks out, no matter what. So if you choose to do this, you need to figure out when you leave for Ranger School, and then 8 weeks out from that is when you need to you backwards plan like we do in the military, right? 8 weeks out, you start your Ranger plan. You don't have to build in like weeks breaks between the workouts, but I guess you could, which would extend it, another 6 weeks roughly. But backwards plan all the way back up to your on-ramp so that you're starting the Ranger plan exactly 8 weeks out. It's built in to have a taper. So like the last 2 to 3 weeks, you really start like tapering off so that you're not sustaining injuries. while still like working out. The whole design is like to get you to ranger school to be successful. And the nice thing about these mountain tactical workouts is they're not solely focused on rap week because of the amount of like groundwork that you do. They definitely have the longevity of ranger school in mind. Now the ranger plan, to finish that up, it's 8 weeks out. It's got the built-in taper at the end. It does have 2-a-days, so I think like 3 times a week you're doing 2-a-days. There's a morning workout and an afternoon workout. The morning workout is usually something light, like doesn't take you long, 15-20 minutes, push-up, sit-up improvement kind of thing. A lot of body work stuff. And then the afternoon workout is always a run or a ruck run. So, and they start to get long. It becomes a pretty massive time commitment. But if I'm being honest, put the time in because you're going to ranger school. So why would you want to put half-ass time in for 34 weeks and then just half-ass the last 8 weeks, and then you go down to ranger school and then you fail because physically you weren't ready? Just put the time in. It's 2-a-days. They're long workouts, big time commitment, but it's worth it. And I will tell you the 2-a-days is probably in there systematically because ranger school is like 16 to 18 to 20 hours like on your feet every single day. So no matter how long the workout takes you through this like mountain tactical plan, I promise you, you are not going to work yourself as hard as you would if you were at ranger school. You're just not going to. So that's all I got to say about that. And again, the nice thing about that packet is it includes a ranger recovery plan. So you graduate ranger school, you come home, take a couple days off, take a week off, 2 weeks off. I get it. Eat a couple cheeseburgers. Don't eat too many because it's something people don't talk about actually. But when you graduate ranger school, like I got kind of fat, honestly. And a lot of people did because your metabolism isn't working great. You're starving, so you're just eating. And like you're in this survival mode. Something in your brain's not working. It just like the receptor that tells you to stop eating doesn't exist. So you just keep eating constantly. Like you ate kind of a gross amount of food. And yeah, so I got kind of fat, and then, before I knew it, and I wasn't working out because I tried to go for a couple runs and my body was just like, nah, dude, not right now. And then, yeah, probably after about like 10 to 12 weeks, I looked in the mirror and I was like, Jesus, you are a disgusting slob. Time to do something about it. So got back in the gym, cleaned up the diet, and it all shakes out in the end. It takes a while to recover from ranger school, which I should do a separate video on completely, but that's another time. So yeah, the ranger recovery plan that is included, it's designed to like, take a couple weeks off and then you start in slow, and it's got like a lot of stretching, and it's kind of designed to ease you back into like functionality essentially. So it's a good deal. I'll be honest with you, I didn't do it, but looking through the plan, it looks like a pretty good deal. I know guys that have done it and they really enjoyed it. So shame on me. I didn't do it. I don't know what to tell you. Now, the one thing I will say about the mountain tactical plan is you've got to have like a gym access. It's almost not possible, honestly, unless you have some like gym equipment on your own. You got to have access to a gym to do it. So just offhand, some of the things like equipment I think you'll need that I can remember needing was like kettlebells, dumbbells, boxes. You need a pull-up bar, and then I know you need like a weighted vest, or like an IBA or IOTB. I don't know what they call body armor. I don't know what they're calling it now. Rucksack. You do need a sledgehammer, like an 8-pound sledgehammer. That's carried with you on the ruck. So like when you go for ruck runs, you carry an 8-pound sledge. The idea is to like mimic the weight of a rifle. And then probably the biggest thing is the sandbags. There's a lot of sandbag work. So they sell sandbags on their website. They come empty. I think they're like $50, $60 sandbag if you needed one. Otherwise, I think sandbags are actually kind of gaining a lot of popularity. They're in quite a few gyms now. So yeah. Now, if you're still with me, 15 minutes in, I'll say you don't have to do this workout. I'm not telling you that the only way you're going to be successful at Ranger School is if you do this mountain tactical plan. You can do whatever you want. Plenty of people see success. The biggest thing that I would worry about for your fitness at Ranger School is, number one, you need to be able to get through rap week. Get through the PT test. Have the legs to get through the run, the ruck, and land nav. Have the leg strength to get through that. And then after that, all you need is you need to be hard. You need to be able to walk a ton with a ton of weight on your back. That's it. Like, if you're doing curls to get you to Ranger School, you probably have the wrong priorities in mind, because curls are for the girls, man. And you don't go to Ranger School for the girls. You're going to Ranger School to earn a tab so that you can be a more effective leader for your soldiers. You're not going to Ranger School so that you can get a t-shirt and tell everybody how cool and badass you are. If you are, you should probably not go, because that is not the right reason to get your tab. You're going to school so that you can become a more effective leader for your soldiers. So, as long as you have that lens that you're looking through, then it shouldn't be hard to swallow your pride and put aside those fancy, cool workouts that, make your body look better, shape your body in the way that, you think it looks better. Because that doesn't matter. What matters is being durable enough to stand the test of time at school. Ranger School is a marathon. It's been said 100 times. It'll continue to be said. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You do not need to be able to go really hard for a short duration. You need to be able to put out 25 to 35% effort for a really long time. That's what gives you success. So, if you do CrossFit, do CrossFit. Like, sure, that'll probably do a good enough job to get you through Ranger School. You don't have to do the mountain tactical work. I think CrossFit would be a sufficient workout style to get you through Ranger School. Now, make sure you're putting a little extra emphasis on like the events that you need to complete during rap week for Ranger School if you're just doing CrossFit, because like CrossFit's not prioritizing an RPA. They're just not. You got to do strict chin-ups, not butterflies. So just keep that in mind if you're doing like a CrossFit style workout to get yourself to Ranger School. If you're bodybuilding, I don't think that's an appropriate. I personally don't think I would bodybuild. I would do like a bodybuilding workout leading into Ranger School. And when I say bodybuilding, I mean like the person that like prioritizes isometric exercises, focusing on a single muscle groups. Like today is arms day, or today is biceps, tomorrow's triceps, the next day is chest, the next day is back, the next day is legs. Like I personally don't think that's a super effective strategy to get through Ranger School, but people have probably done it. If you want to, that's your call. My opinion is I would not. Same thing, if you're a power lifter, I don't think that's a super effective strategy, because you might be able to lift a Mack truck, but you can do it one time. And what I need you to do is not lift a Mack truck. I just need you to pick like a Prius up, but I need you to pick it up every day for 60 days. If that makes sense, if that analogy like clicks in somebody's brain, it's not the fact that you can lift a ton of weight one time. I need you to lift like a little bit of weight over and over and over and over again. So whatever workout strategy you're doing, just make sure that you kind of put some thought into that for Ranger School, that it's build your durability, because that's truthfully what you need at Ranger School. You need durability. If you're a guy or gal, I guess, that just wants to run, and that's it, that's your only plan, is to just run and maybe do push-ups and sit-ups, that's fine. Probably you could see some success doing that. I don't think it's going to build that durability as much, though. I think you need to get some weights, like lift some weights. And that's where the sandbags are actually kind of nice, because you're lifting kind of some heavy weights and you're doing it in awkward, weird motions. That's like working different muscles that you've probably never worked before, if you haven't done a bunch of sandbag work. That weight training helps to build that durability, so that, if you're just a runner, man, maybe stereotypical, but I've just got like a picture of this frail, weak body, like just going to Ranger School. It's about to blow over in the breeze, and like your bones just break when you pick up your rucksack. Like I don't know. I think of like runners as being these like super thin, frail people. So, obviously I'm not a runner. Anyhow, it's enough about that. So that's kind of my recommendation. If you have absolutely no idea where to start, go to mountaintacticalinstitute.com. Check out the Ranger School prep plan. They have like sample training. So if you go to their website, you can look through, like pick a workout and pick sample training, and it'll give you like 1 week of like what the sample training is. Now I'm going to tell you it's a little biased, because their first week, like week 1, week 4, and week 7 are always, they're like test weeks. So you start off and you might do like a 5-mile run for time. And the design is to like figure out what your time is on running a 5-mile. And then the next 3 weeks, they'll use that score to like in your workout. So they'll say like, hey, take your goal from that ruck, and then you're going to run 1 mile at this pace. The other cool thing that they have on their website is, so they have like what they call their run calculator. So that's where you ran that 5-mile, you put your time in there, you put your distance, and then you hit calculate, and then it'll calculate like your target pace per mile, that you need to use for your workouts. They also have a huge list of workouts, exercises, like a exercise library that you can watch and get video of like all these different exercises of how to do them. Because I will be honest, like there are some I used it quite a bit. They even have an app, so you can just pull up the app, pull up the exercise library, go in there and look up Scotty Bob's, or because they like make their own workouts. So they make their own like exercises. Some of them are like they mirror other workouts or other exercises, but they're like their own. So they have to create these unique names. So you do have to go. That's kind of one nuisance, is you do have to kind of go to their website and look up some of these exercises to like figure out what the heck a Scotty Bob is, or a kneeling plate half moon, which that one sounds kind of self-explanatory. It is. But they do have that like video database of videos like explaining each exercise. So it's a pretty handy feature. So if you're like struggling with starting somewhere, I'd go to Mountain Tactical, check it out. I know it seems expensive, $240, but in the grand scheme of things, like people go to the bar and spend that in one night in the bar. So maybe don't go out Saturday night. Buy a workout plan, which is better for you anyways. In fact, if you're like thinking about going to Ranger School, should maybe think about tapering off the bar scene anyways, because alcohol, if you don't know, alcohol is like utterly destructive on your fitness levels. But that's another point. Yeah, if you're like doing if you're going to a CrossFit gym, I think you're okay there. Maybe you just need to supplement a little bit with some of the other workouts. If you're like doing bodybuilding or power lifting style works, I would reevaluate like your lifting techniques and kind of try to gear them towards the fitness required for Ranger School. So anyhow, that's all I have. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free, please leave a comment down below. I'll address it. If there's any videos you think you want to see in the future, let me know. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Anyhow, that's all I have. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.